Ọlọ́run ti fi sí ilẹ̀ àwọ̀ dúdú jẹ́, especially àwa ilẹ̀ Yorùbá, àwọn ọmọ káàárọ̀ oòjíire, nítorí pé civilization Yorùbá started over 13,000 years ago ní Yorùbá ti wà, dated back to the period of the Stone Age ní Yorùbá ti wà. Tẹ́ bá dẹ̀ lọ wo Tower of Babel tí wọ́n sọ nílé ìwé àwọn Kìrìsìtẹ́nì, ancient Ife is connected, the history of ancient Ife is connected to the historical revolution of the spirituality of the world. That is why tó fi jẹ́ pé àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá kì í ṣèyàn lásán, we are spiritual beings. So nígbà táwọn òyìnbó tó ń gbé colonialism dé pé ok kọ́ máa ṣe ọrọ̀ ajé mọ́ ní human slave pé wọ́n máa replace ẹ̀ pẹ̀lú legitimate trade. Ìkan tó rí ní alimony àti ilẹ̀ wa tó lè ọ̀fà wọn ní nǹkan tí wọ́n fẹ́. Ibi tó wá jẹ́ kí problem wá tó fi jẹ́ pé Yorùbá láti ronú gidi gan, ká gbàgbé pa wọ́n náírà tó ń fún wa nínú òṣèlú ká láti gba òmìnira. Màá ṣàlàyé fún yín kí tó sọ pa mega rally. Àwọn òyìnbó yìí wá lọ ṣe research pé wọ́n fẹ́ pín Áfíríkà láàrin ara wọn kó tó pàdé ní Berlin ní 1884 sí 1885 kó tó pàdé. Wọ́n lọ ṣe research àwọn ẹ̀yà tó wà ní ilẹ̀ aláwọ̀ dúdú wípé àwọn nísìnyí táwọn ti stop slavery, àwọn fẹ́ bí legitimate trade wá. Báwo la ṣe tó kò ní sí ìjà láàrin wa tó ká máa pín àwọn people tó máa pay wa tí ò ní ṣe pé wọ́n máa fún wa ní any problem at all. So wọ́n wá professor kan is a UK professor of history.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
Bí a professor Austin lórúkọ ẹ̀, Austin HUSTING lórúkọ ẹ̀. Òun ló wá ní kó form committee pé kó tó pàdé ní Berlin kó lọ wo gbogbo history gbogbo àwọn ẹ̀yà tó wà ní ilẹ̀ aláwọ̀ dúdú, so that tó wọ́n máa partition Africa, wọ́n á mọ bó ṣe máa partition wọn tó jẹ́ wípé ó máa wà very difficult for káwọn ẹ̀yà kan tó báyìí wọ́n gbọ́n bí òyìnbó kí wọ́n dá gbọ́ bí orílẹ̀-èdè táwọn bá partition wọn tán pẹ̀lú èdè kan, pẹ̀lú èdè kan, àyà kan, pẹ̀lú culture kan, spirituality kan, because ó máa fáwọn ní problem, àwọn ò ní lè achieve nǹkan táwọn fẹ́ achieve. So the report tó ń gbà nígbà táwọn tó ń wọ́n sá kí lẹ́bí sá.
Mo ló lágbára o.
Ẹ máa gbọ́, mo ní mo máa tú àṣírí. So nígbà táwọn yẹn máa ṣe report tó submit report wọn fún àwọn tó meet ní Berlin under the chairmanship of Otto von Bismarck. Àwọn èèyàn márùn lórí láfíríkà pé wọ́n sọ pé wọn ò gbọdọ̀ jẹ́ kí wọ́n lé òmìnira, pé kó pín wọn yẹlẹyẹlẹ káàkiri gbogbo ilẹ̀ tó wọ́n máa pín wọn sí. Yorùbá wà lára wọn, àwọn Zulu South Africa wà lára wọn, àwọn Buganda of Central South Africa wà lára wọn, Buganda, then àwọn Ashanti wà lára wọn, àti Yorùbá nation, Yorùbá people. Wọ́n ní àwọn people yìí pé èdè wọn àti spirituality wọn le gan, pé wọ́n gbọ́n ju òyìnbó lọ, pé tó àwọn bá máa pín gbogbo ilẹ̀ yẹn ní Berlin, wọ́n láti pín wọn lẹ́yẹlẹ́yẹ sí oríṣiríṣi orílẹ̀-èdè pé wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́ kó dá dúró bí orílẹ̀-èdè ẹyọ kan. Láṣẹ àwọn Yorùbá ní Benin, lárí Yorùbá ní Togo, lárí Yorùbá ní part of Ghana, àwọn Ghana lọ sí Sierra Leone and Cote d'Ivoire, pé tẹ́ bá jẹ́ kó dúró one singular territory, it will be difficult for you to contend with them because wọ́n ní agbára, which is our spirituality. And ọ̀rọ̀ bó ṣe ọ̀rọ̀ àkópapọ̀ láti lè sọ pé àwọn ò fẹ́ oppression pé wọ́n ní lọ́wọ́. So that the British came and amalgamated Nigeria, it is not by accident, it is a planned work tó ti engineer wípé àwọn ọmọ láti kó àwọn tó jẹ́ people of inferior civilization but àwọn that of tó ní superior civilization. So if we must succeed in colonizing the Yoruba and taking away whatever they claim is making them invisible, we must make sure we destroy them by making sure they are not under one single geographical entity. Nǹkan tó ṣẹlẹ̀ nìyẹn. So nígbà tí wọ́n ṣe amalgamation ní 1914, there was a man who was already a lawyer, ọmọ Yorùbá ni, his name is Apara Williams. Ó sue the British government lọ sí Privy Council wípé wọn ò gbọdọ̀ amalgamate ilẹ̀ Yorùbá pẹ̀lú gbogbo àwọn ẹ̀yà yòókù. He's a lawyer, the first lawyer tá nílẹ̀ Yorùbá ni. So the British government to the Privy Council pé wọn ò gbọdọ̀ kó Yorùbá jọ pẹ̀lú àwọn ẹ̀yà yòókù tó kọ́ fi dá Nàìjíríà sílẹ̀. Nígbà ó dẹ̀ bá wọn fà á títí dé the highest court in England, but wọ́n play politics pẹ̀lú kíní yẹn. They could not. Pastor Apara Williams was also part of the traditional institutions in Yoruba land for him to succeed because àmọ́ parali ń gbà yẹn, àmọ́ parali ń gbà yẹn, kálá àmọ́ parali àti rally nígbà yẹn to support Apara Williams to have rejected that amalgamation, but kò sí anybody tó fún wa ní kò sí anybody tó àwọn bàbá wa ń gbà yẹn, kò sẹ́ni tó lé idea wípé tá a bá resist by resistance wípé possible wípé a lè má bọ́ sínú oko ẹrú tá a wà lẹ́ni lórí orílẹ̀-èdè ìlú nàìjíríà múnisìn. Then after that,
Hmm.
by 1956 nígbà tí wọ́n fẹ́ ṣe constitutional conference ní London, one of the last constitutional conference tó máa fún wa ní tó máa fún nàìjíríà ní independence, Awólọ́wọ̀ ó sọ wípé òun fẹ́ kọ́ include secession clause nínú constitution so that if there is any breach of disagreement láàrin gbogbo àwọn regions tó wà nàìjíríà, Yorùbá can even go to court invoking that particular section of the constitution to fún wa ní right láti secede from Nigeria without going to war, without all this wahala time go to anything. It would have been easier for us. Dick àtàwọn British ló stop ẹ̀. Tafawa Balewa àti Ahmadu Bello wọ́n accepted, but it was Dick and the British government that manipulated the process that make it practically impossible for Yorùbá to have gotten that this is their full legal process to pull out of Nigeria. Ìyẹn ní kejì. Then ká ní pé àwọn èèyàn wọn gbà yẹn because we have regional autonomy and àwọn ọlọ́wọ́ ìfúnwé with the regional government of Yorùbá land that we secure right from 1956 7 kò jẹ́ ká mọ̀ wípé there is a better option in to come of achieving maximum self-determination rather than wait inside Nigeria to continue to maintain that regional autonomy tí gbogbo màdàwú tó ṣẹlẹ̀ ní post 1960 tí wọ́n fi declare state of emergency nílẹ̀ Yorùbá. Kálá ti mọ̀ báyìí ni we will have come out to support Awólọ́wọ̀ with massive rally and resistance ká insist pé tí wọ́n bá ti fi secession clause yẹn sínú conference tó ṣe ní 1956 yẹn Yorùbá will pull out of Nigeria bí àwọn Southern Cameroon ṣe pull out through using the instrumentality of the NCNC in 1961 láti lọ form Southern Cameroon as part of the Federation of Cameroon as it were at that time. But àwa Yorùbá because kakun we felt we could use the regional system láti lè fi achieve what we achieve but could meet up with anything. Ìyẹn di ìkejì. Then another one ni wípé nígbà tí wọ́n náà June 12 hello sir ṣe wà mẹ́ no connection. Hello? There's no connection. Hello, ṣé wà ń bẹ̀? Hello, ṣé wà ń bẹ̀? Hello? Hello, ṣé wà ń bẹ̀? Kò sí connection. So ẹ jẹ́ kí n continue. Bàbá tẹ́ntẹ̀ náà jọ̀ wá padà lórí ìkànnì. So if we have mobilized at that time to support Awolowo under that regional government, wípé ká insist lórí that secession clause, maybe as at that time Yoruba people will have succeeded in actualizing their right to maximum self-determination, but we did not. Then maybe the June 12 struggle, when the June 12 struggle was narrowed down to ethnic nationalism on the part of the Yoruba, tí wọ́n sọ pé àwọn Yorùbá ló insist lórí pé láti reclaim mandate tó fún Abiola because Abiola happens to be a Yoruba person. It was the same struggle that way because we did not realize the fact that as at that time Yoruba people should have invoked maximally their right to self-determination. Káwá transform gbogbo àwọn rallies àti protest àṣẹ to a political action process tó máa fún wa ní opportunity láti present Yoruba question whether we want to remain in Nigeria or not, backed by organized political action, which an organized rally will have given us ahead. But essentially, I'm gonna put structure of our statehood in place. But because our elite some of our political elites who felt that their political interests in Nigeria and business interests could be threatened, decided to meter down the symbolism of the protest to follow the annulment of June 12. Though there were formation of socio-cultural groups, like the OPC, the OYM, because June 12 struggle ló gbé àwọn socio-cultural groups wá jáde. If that was the beginning of Yoruba self-determination process, because Yoruba resisted the annulment of June 12 and resisted. ibẹ̀ ni Afẹ́nifẹ́re ti wà revamped, ibẹ̀ ni àwọn Nẹ̀dẹ́kò ti padà, Oòduà youth movement under Oòduà youth movement, Oòduà liberation movement, OPC, eh, OPC, then Yorùbá revolutionary movement pẹ̀lú àwọn Yorùbás in diaspora, gbogbo àwọn cultural association ilẹ̀ Yorùbá came up resisting the amendment of June 12. That was not that particular resistance that we had during the June 12 era was not a direct protest towards addressing the Yoruba question in Nigeria, because àwọn tó wà involved wọn clamour gbogbo structural organization into a singular organized political process. Our agenda was then they should make Abiola the president and restructure Nigeria. We did not look beyond the consequences of not considering the fact that orílẹ̀-èdè ní Yorùbá, and our history preceded whatever the British have imposed on us as regional structure, which the military in Nigeria decided to use the paraphernalia of take control via the Fulani interest láti pín wa sí unviable state and local government. Wọ́n mọ̀ fún wa sí state and local government ni, so that we will not be able to organize ourselves. Rather than see ourselves as Yoruba, Amarawa as Ekiti, as Ondo, as Ijebu, as Ibadan. But we are organic people. We're a nation. And because we're a nation, gbogbo àwọn divide and rule tí àwọn people nílò was to begin to undermine the capacity of Yoruba to unite themselves towards a singular political mass action. Ìyẹn làwọn factors tari tó ti affect gbogbo effort táwọn leaders wa tí wọ́n contest pẹ̀lú gbogbo àwọn obnoxious and federal policies of the super structure majorly controlled by the Fulani. So ibi tá a bá délé ni wípé I won't realize the consequences of the June 12 fiasco and the killing of 4 Yoruba men and the destruction of the regional system, the destruction of the socio-economic empowerment of the Nigerian socio-economic reality. It becomes imperative that the only option to our Yoruba needs in Nigeria is to opt out of the Nigerian Federation. That is where the mega rally àti gbogbo action àwọn leaders wa ní self-determination group tó ti take ibẹ̀ ló ti wà so symbolic. Baba Adébánjí Akíntóyè was in America. He was the president of Odun Foundation in America. He has been involved in so many protests to see the Yoruba disengage from Nigeria. And gbogbo àwọn programs àwọn Afẹ́nifẹ́re either mainstream or renewal àti gbogbo programs àwọn Yorùbá Academy èmi ni àpapọ̀ ọmọ Oòduà. Baba Adébánjí Akíntóyè play a very prominent role by through resources and whatever láti lè ṣe kí ni.
èèyàn mi ṣe ń gbọ́ wa tẹ́ bá ń gbọ́ wa ẹjọ́ ẹ bá mi tẹ 1 tẹ́ bá ń gbọ́ wa ẹnìkan lóhùn ò gbọ́.
So Baba Adébánjí Akíntóyè Ọlọ́run ti prepare wọn for this noble assignment, because gbogbo àwọn explanation tí mo ṣe ni bàbá mọ̀, gbogbo explanation tí mo ṣe ni Baba Adébánjí Akíntóyè mọ̀, and Awólọ́wọ̀ have instructed him as his trusted ally kó lọ prepare fún nǹkan tá à ń ṣe yìí.
ẹ máa sọ̀rọ̀ yín lọ sẹ́ ẹ máa sọ̀rọ̀.
Ọlọ́run ti ní kó lọ prepare, Ọlọ́run ti ní kí Baba Adébánjí Akíntóyè tú Awólọ́wọ̀ kó lọ prepare pé a day will come when Yoruba will have no alternative than to opt out of the Nigerian Federation. Awolowo have seen it for a very long time. We pay the only way to prepare Yoruba people for that glorious day when they shall organize themselves politically to emancipate themselves from the shackles and maladies of neo-colonial enslavement of what the British in collaboration with the Fulani have done to the Yoruba people. Ni we pay key àwọn tó jẹ́ lieutenant òun at that time, people like Bola Ige, Professor Adébánjí Akíntóyè and the others, we call them emancipate àwọn ohun títà ìbá tó. That is exactly what Baba Adébánjí Akíntóyè is doing now, and that is why Baba understood gbogbo connections tí Baba Adébánjí Akíntóyè tó ní nípa tó fi propel the struggle yìí was the opportunity Chief Awolowo gave to Baba. These are the various travels, various research work he has conducted in Korea, in Brazil, in Cuba, and other parts of the world in preparing the Yoruba for this time. Even after Matabagba independence, gbogbo templates tí Awolowo ti fún Professor Adébánjí Akíntóyè have all well been articulated and documented. So now,
Thank you.
My feel mega rally into what we are doing in demanding for Yoruba nation.
ẹ máa sọ̀rọ̀ yín bàbá, ẹ fúnra yín ní more time, ẹ sọ̀rọ̀. Àwọn èèyàn ń gbádùn yín, àwọn èèyàn ń gbádùn yín bàbá. àwọn
Okay,
èèyàn gbádùn yín.
okay, sir. Now, ẹ wá wò sà, nígbà tí àwọn òyìnbó dé ní 1914 tí wọ́n amalgamate wa, mo fẹ́ kí ẹ sọ fáwọn ìwà kan lísìn sí point yìí gan, ìkan tó fún wa lẹ́tọ̀ọ́ without the permission of the federal government kàdá dúró, a nídìí láti gba permission lọ́wọ́ federal government of Nigeria. What we do is to notify them. And Baba have written so many letters. The leader of the Yoruba Self-Determination Movement have written so many letters to them. After our rally started from 2001 to from 2019, 2001, 2003. Àti sọ fún wọn. Then Baba later wrote some letters. Mo fẹ́ sọ níbi táwọn letters Baba kọ sí Tinubu, tó kọ sí Buhari àti Tinubu, tó ti derive their symbolism. Now, ẹ fẹ́ kẹ́ gbọ́, ní 1914 táwọn òyìnbó dé tó amalgamate wa, there is something tí wọ́n take off away from us láti 1914 tèní tó jẹ́ pé òun ló fún wa ní agbára láti sọ wípé a fẹ́ níjọba tiwa as Yorùbá nation. Màá ṣàlàyé ẹ̀ fún yín nísìn káwọn ìwà máa gbọ́. Nígbà táwọn òyìnbó máa ṣe gbogbo nonsense tó ṣe tí wọ́n amalgamate wa, tí wọ́n wá create series of constitutional conferences from 1914, 1922, 1939, 41. That is the Boston Constitution. To the restart Constitution of 1946. Then the Ibadan National Conference. The Conference of Mafesin Constitution of 1950-51. Then you don't change a little thing 50, 54, 55, 56. Tafiwa lọ pàdé ní Lancaster. You don't ṣe 1957. Tí Awólọ́wọ̀ tí six pe conflict cessation clause ní kíní. Àwọn òyìnbó yọ right Yorùbá under what we call customary laws wa. Customary laws wa yẹn ni bá ṣe ń ṣèjọba wa, bá ṣe ń ṣe ọ̀rọ̀ abo wa, bá ṣe ń jẹun gẹ́gẹ́ bí àwọn cultural food tá à ń jẹ, our cultural nationalism wọn ò yọ kúrò, bá ṣe organize our traditional politics wọn ò yọ kúrò. Whatever constitution táwọn òyìnbó àtàwọn federal government Nigeria gbé wá kò tamper with our indigenous rights as a customary people. Law yẹn ló transform to the United Nations right Declaration of Rights of Indigenous People. Wọn ò mú right yẹn kò lọ́wọ́ wa. Òun la ṣe ní customary court káàkiri gbogbo ilẹ̀ Yorùbá táwọn náà ti ń lo Sharia law. Wọn ò tamper pẹ̀lú penal code náà ti náà. These are things the white met when they came to Africa. The way we were was not tampered with, which also involve our political right to be on our own, because the system of government is customary, which is same thing as the right of indigenous people to self-determination. Ìyẹn ló máa fún wa ní agbára láti jáde láti insist with that market rally wípé tá a bá ti ya pátá tó bí 15-20 million níta wípé àwa ti invoke that customary right táwọn òyìnbó tamper pẹ̀lú, which is our right of our people as an indigenous people. And there is no law in Nigeria that took that law away from us. There is no law. Ìyẹn ni mò ń sọ fún yín pé àṣírí tí mo fẹ́ tú. Now, for Nigeria to be recognized as a sovereign state, there is a particular law tí Babangida enact in 1990 called Law Cap 10 of the laws of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Law yẹn ló fún Nàìjíríà ní right láti lè conduct international relations on behalf of the various regions, various nationalities tó wà Nigeria, because what Nigeria was using was a stolen sovereignty. Sovereignty táwọn British still lọ́wọ́ Yorùbá before 1914, èyí tó jí lọ́wọ́ ìjọ, èyí tó jí lọ́wọ́ Igbo, èyí tó jí lọ́wọ́ Hausa Fulani, òun gangan ni wọ́n wá gbé fún Nàìjíríà. There was no referendum to justify the fact that Yoruba voluntarily want to be part of Nigeria. All the conferences they had from 1914 till the 1990 constitution were all illegal processes, because they are not backed by the voluntary concession of the indigenous people who holds their communal right and on their indigenous right to concede voluntarily. That yes, that culture serve as a bond, a political bond between whatever regions and nationalities are constituted either within the state structure or within the local government structure, now under the superstructure hegemony of the federal government. Kò sí nǹkan tó rí bẹ́ẹ̀. They were using the military. They used the military to create all this negative paraphernalia of misrepresentation. How can somebody sit somewhere and tell me that the constitution of Nigeria, that we the people of Nigeria, who are the we? It is a lie. And anything that is built on lie from the point of its origination become inconsistent with the will of the people. It is people that owns the land.
Yeah,
It is people that own their history. The people who own their culture. So they cannot come from anywhere and begin to say you are imposing anything. That is why to fi jẹ́ wípé wọ́n rí wípé àwọn Biafra ti get kíní yẹn right. Òun náà fi sáré lọ ṣe declaration wọn ní Finland káwọn Yorùbá wa máa gbọ́. Right tí mò ń sọ fún bàbá nìyẹn. làwọn Biafra lò àwọn EPA and everything tó fi lọ ṣe kíní wọn ní Finland. Òun ló ń jẹ́ káwọn òyìnbó fẹ́ máa fún wọn ní recognition because wọ́n ti invoke their right of indigenous in all ramifications to their life, to their resources, to their water, to their politics, in that is more in connected to their customary invisibility.
Carry babai. Carry.
So that we are coming out for mega rally. We don't need any permission of the federal government of Nigeria. We've written letter to them. Because this is going to be the last rally of our rally. We can't be coming out every day to be complaining. We want to complain about me. This is the last rally to tell the whole world that we are ready to solve our own problem with our own way of life, our customary approach to modernity. We want to use our customs and values and language to modernize the entire future of the Yoruba land.
We are fully ready.
So that you are a politician in Nigeria. The laws that is making you to parade yourself as a citizen of Nigeria are all exercise in political futility. You are just an agent of the superstructure. Whether you are in the federal government, whether you are in the Senate, or members of the House of Rep, or House of Assembly, a chairman of the council, or a councillor, or you are an appointee of the federal government at all tiers of governance. You are agents working against the aspiration and the destiny of your own people. Because one more to increase privileges to need, so that you will remain committed to that superstructure to serve as a means of destroying your people resistance to this continuous political sodomy that they are consciously unleashing on your people to make you become permanently stagnated forever. So our Yoruba la femo, that is symbolism of the rally. Anything to that in our Yoruba femo, that is why we are going out on that mega rally. The mega rally is the last resort to save the Yoruba land from going to political extinction, economic extinction, intellectual extinction. We have so many. So the reality of ẹ má bínú pé mi ò lè analyse gbogbo kíni ní Yorùbá. I try as much as to be Yorùbá. It's also an attending negative consequences of what they did to us, because nobody was speaking English before 1914. Our language defined and epitomized our general capacity to be who Eledumare wanted us to be, just like what the Chinese are doing now, just like what the Brazilians are doing now, just like what those who use their indigenous language as a means of revolutionizing their capacity to become, a global hegemon, a global state actor. So you got to show 1 year. So at this level, ẹ jẹ́ kí gbogbo àwọn Yorùbá fi rálì yẹn jáde ká sọ fún bàbá Adémọ́lá Akíntóyè pé go and constitute our provisional government. Rally here is to empower Baba Akíntóyè and Sunday Igboho and other revolutionary, including deputy leader Yoruba Nation. Yeah, I want to one YATM under Kayode Emola, working direct under Baba. It is time for us to empower all our leaders to be more bold and courageous to take more decisive policy position on behalf of our emerging sovereign Yoruba state. It is time. We must do that. We can no longer continue to pretend and bury our head in the ostrich that Nigeria will be better for us. Nǹkan tó máa dá lánàá, nǹkan tó máa dá lẹ́nìí àti rí lánàá. Bọ́ọ̀lù àṣemárí èyí láti máa mọ̀. Nigeria is permanently a failed state. It's an impossible failed state which belong to the Napoleon Empire. There is no way that they pretend pé gbogbo àwọn contradictions yóò matter except we want to destroy ourselves. Unfortunately, some of us who are the best of the best in all various fields of human endeavours, kí là ń ṣe é sìn? Àwa là ń pe àwọn òṣòkàn fún àwọn political parties in Nigeria. Kí ni ìyẹn fẹ́ ṣe fún mi rather than pé okay, you will give me some resources for some time láti lè sustain life mi, tó bá yá nǹkan tó fi kójọ bó ṣe wá náà ló ṣe máa lọ. So when we create a nation that have the capacity to revolutionize its own development and create a permanent social economy opportunities for our people, tó yẹ pé they are all domesticated under our national laws as a Yoruba country. Kò sí bí ọmọ Yorùbá tó ní talent ṣe fẹ́ padà sí inú ìṣòro ọkọ fẹ́ padà sí inú ìṣẹ́ tó mọ̀ wípé the society itself is positively designed and it regulates itself on the basis of services every Yoruba person is providing for their own country. You will see the level of natural commitment, natural organic connection from the concept of citizenship to the concept of the state system. Everyone are too perfect. So Yoruba is willing to go to war to die for his own country, which is Yoruba country. So gbogbo àwọn reality nǹkan tó wà lẹ́nu yẹn ẹ jẹ́ kí n dúró ìgbà bàbá 10-10 for any further questions.
ẹ ṣeun bàbá wa, mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ yín gan gidi. In fact ẹ̀yin ló jẹ́ kí n rántí àwọn ènìyàn wa kan tó máa sọ pé Yorùbá pé a ní ọpọlọ. Ẹ̀yin ló jẹ́ kí n rántí àwọn ẹ̀yà kan tí wọ́n máa ń respect Yorùbá. Kódà àwọn ọmọ Ìgbò wọ́n respect Yorùbá. Mo wá rí i pé ẹ̀yin náà jẹ́ ìkan lára àwọn tí wọ́n ń kà mọ́ pé Yorùbá a ní ọpọlọ, a ní ìmọ̀, a dẹ̀ ní ọgbọ́n, a ní òye. Ẹ sọ àwọn ọ̀rọ̀ kan sìn pé a nílò láti ẹ̀ ti sọ pé bóyá a fẹ́ pe àkíyèsí ìjọba kan pé a fẹ́ jáde fún mega rally àbá a fẹ́ gba orílẹ̀-èdè wa torí pé ó ti wà ń bẹ̀. Ìkíní yẹn ti wà ń bẹ̀ síbẹ̀ pé anytime táwọn gáìsì bá béèrè nǹkan wẹ̀ fún wọn o. So òun ló fa sẹ́bìtà.